how sick and linear Falco's combo game can be there. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but again, not expecting to start there. I'm going to start over here on bats instead, making me feel a little bit more at home instead of all these Yoshi's games we've been starting on.
I love Battlefield.
Such a good stage. If only it wasn't like 80 times darker than every other stage, it would be even sicker.
And if we didn't play on CRTs also, it just vary how bright they are constantly.
But I think we're having a lot of that same story could be told about the Secrets versus Deft here against NOOT versus Deft. It's just Marth versus Spaceys can feel sometimes unwinnable. Even at the points where we're having a great start here from NOOT, it can just feel that it's just waiting for a pin to drop of Marth to just do move, your bird's dead.
Yeah, and the more that nice up B to confirm that kill, and I think the more that like that narrative is not like it's true, it's extremely true, but I think it's a similar mentality thing to like with Ices, where if you're thinking about getting wobbled too much, you can sometimes succumb to it. Like we saw Secrets get back throwed immediately into an air dodge, and I think sometimes that happens. The Marth doesn't even have to do anything; it gets you off stage, and the Spacey will throw out the panic option.
100%. Sometimes it's just like getting in their head, or something working so many times, or getting it earlier on the set that now they have to actively prepare for that. Something like, especially that Marth has, is the counter. Like, players will bring it out like once in a set, and then once they do, their opponent's just gonna be like, okay, I have to use that tiny bit of brain power to worry about countering this scenario, which can end up being the point that decides the set.
Yeah, that's even just throwing things out one time or two times and making your opponent privy to them, I think does do a big difference.
Unfortunately, SD there, but Deft's going to do a real fine job of bringing it pretty much back to even.
Oh, proud of the ledge, but doesn't opt for the back throw. He was a little too far away, but
I love that every Melee player watching a set just has that reaction. No matter who you main, you just see a Marth grab a Spacey at any percent. You're just like, well, I can close my eyes for 20 seconds. I don't want to see this. Ooh, a real deep edge guard. I don't know if he wanted to go quite that deep, but one stop apiece.
I feel like he wanted to Shine Bear.
Yeah, maybe not SD edge guard, but ends up costing him. Oh, okay, we're back.
Like that pressure on the platform to shine. But huge opportunity here for Deft.
Oh, no.
I hate that. Man, Battlefield, that's a hard one to get sometimes, but also, actually, I have a question for you, because there's been contention in my local scene that random people started saying this. I've always thought that if you shorten, you can grab the ledge when you're a little bit lower. And now I think that may not be true, and I have no idea. If anybody in chat has any idea, if you side B and you shorten it, are you able to grab the ledge a little bit lower than true? It is true? I'm no longer sure. But like my gut reaction, I feel like if NOOT would have shortened that side B, I think he would have grabbed ledge, which is what made me think of that.
I'm uncertain too. It's still wild that like this deep into Melee's life cycle, we have things that feel like urban legends, or we're still uncertain about. It just shows how sick this game is. There's so many little things.
Some players just thrive on it too. Great edge guard. But like, man, you see like some low-tier players or like Rien, who just constantly is evolving Zelda to just ridiculous points. And yeah, some people just thrive on that in this game. It's a cool one for it.
The set so far has been so weird because it feels like NOOT's in the driver's seat, but every time like NOOT picks a direction to go, Deft gets there and just combos into hell and brings it back. And it was again a really unfortunate ending of that game on, but it feels like NOOT's winning the game, except for the results of the game one, as dumb as that sounds.
I think that is the tragedy of Falco. Even against a character with as good of neutral as Marth, Falco just always seems to like find hits pretty consistently, but he is so susceptible to just getting absolutely deleted constantly. He's Edgard.
NOOT's doing a much better job to hold on to this lead in this game, because definitely that counter pick over is going to help a little bit but Blaze for the edge. Nice.
So yeah, I think NOOT is using his counter pick really well, maintaining center stage, not getting corner trapped a lot, using the big blast zones and stage to his advantage. Like yeah, living at 200% as Falco, you're always gonna be happy about that. Jackie Robinson %, let's see if he's swinging dingers. Not quite. I think how Falcos use their throws are really important in a lot of these matchups where you can get kind of blown up too. Because if somebody's good of like not coming to the Falco pressure, you're gonna need to get them out of shield to start opening them up and catch their movement. And if they're not scared of throws, then it's hard to do that.
Yeah, I've honestly been impressed with what I've seen from some of these net play Falcos getting follow-ups off throws and acknowledging that, acknowledging some people that people aren't aware of that they need to be SDIing on those lasers on the up to get the follow-ups. Sometimes Falcos will just get out really kills that you would not expect from that. Oh god, I'm just so concerned.
I thought that was gonna be a double tip.
That's gonna be it.
Nice, nice. NOOT looking real strong there.
Alright. It's time for FD. Again, I was saying about before, it's not as disastrous for Falco as one might once believe because of the linear nature of the stage. Falco can get some really nice pillar combos here. But again, to that point, you can only say it's not as disastrously bad. Like, it's not apocalyptic here for Falco, but it's still not great.
Yeah, it's definitely not great, but I think that this is very doable for Falco, honestly. I think it is a lot more doable for Falco. Well, I think it's doable for both, but I do think it's better for Falco than Fox.
Yeah, I think pillar, not having to deal with the intricacies of doing pillar combos with platforms here definitely helps Falco punch.
You have to be so disciplined too. Sorry.
I know you're good. I think FD is such a odd stage with everything going on. It's such a polarizing stage. I think it's easily like the most polarizing stage for even for like dittos, like because players have to play so differently. There's no platforms. It's like
you take the platforms out of a platform fighter.
Yeah, it's just a linear stage where there's so many less options, and some players thrive in that, and other players just kind of seem to crumble. Again, on top of that, we do have, oh, nice shine get. Now they're not able to get the shine get to confirm. Down tilts in the corner. Oh, okay. Got some wall jump. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, that's something I do not have is the presence of mind to wall jump in scenarios like that. I almost never remember.
Because you're just like, oh shit, everything's going
like,
to hell.
well,
I'm gonna SD. The life and times of Falco. Deft doing a great job of just extending these combos here, knowing exactly what that flowchart looks like on a bird.
NOOT has had really slick movement out of these lasers, and he's kind of like, especially on shield. You see NOOT will laser shield, and Deft seems to be predicting him to go on top of the shield, NOOT with the dash back, and then kind of conditioning him for a lot of these grabs that he's then opening him up off of.
NOOT, I'm forgetting who NOOT played earlier on stream today, but his like dashbacks and his defensive game, like baiting his opponent out of stuff, he's so good at that. Like just NOOT's movement in general. But you can't really move too much when you're being comboed.
No.
Oh god.
Yeah. That was very unfortunate.
We were saying about how doable this is looking real nice air dodge acknowledging that down there could have just
honestly galaxy brain by both players there to go for the double jump read and then to get out of it.
Speaking of galaxy brain, counter and neutral is surprisingly working really well. It might be the thing that swings this last stock in Deft's favor here.
Great dash attack. Wow. That dash attack catch on the full DI in, just setting him up perfectly.
Yuck. There's not a not a satisfying ending to that one. Definitely really well done by Deft on that combo that was born out of that counter, but yuck.
Yeah, that was very interesting, and Deft kind of pulled out all the moves there towards the end. I think that the up smash came out in the combo before that, and then that crazy dash attack and counter were pretty pivotal to ending it. So Newt's counter pick Pokemon. I think again this is a stage that's pretty decent for both characters, but I think Falco thrives here.
What do you think helps make Stadium so good for Falco?
I think it's just the long stage and the fact that characters can't retreat to the top platform and try and fight Falco's lasers. I think a lot of characters have to rely on movement to avoid Falco lasers, and movement is just a lot more linear on the stage.
Makes sense. Yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment. And yeah, a lot like of the similar reasons why Falco can still be good on FD.
Insane choice to go for a double shine rather than back air.
One shot? Oh wow. And Newt surprisingly surviving really long in these stocks, especially on Dreamland, but going to almost 200 here on Stadium, pretty nice.
Yeah, I think that Deft could maybe fix up some of these edgeguard flow charts a little bit more. He went for that down tilt, and I think that the jab right there from Newt's position would have easily covered ledge and the high up B, and you saw that Newt's side B just went straight over him. So these are very scary situations for Newt that I think are a little bit more on Deft to clean up than it's necessarily always Newt capitalizing. But that's, I think, usually how it goes with Marth edgeguarding Spaceys. Oh gosh. Yeah,
I definitely think there's a lot less hesitancy to go for these pit fights on netplay. Like, if this is top 8, this is winner semis, I don't think we would see the same headstrong rush into a pit fight if we were on land right now.
I agree with that too.
Down smash.
Right. Yeah, again, Deft with this move selection, he definitely is a little trickster. Likes to pull a leg or two. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's how you need to try and work around Falco lasers. The quick jumps and ready to respond after the power shield. Not just power shielding it, but Falco can start learning the cadence of even power shields and jumping over them and approaching after, and if you're not ready.
Do it.
Good DI.
Okay.
Ledge is, I think, in terms of net play versus LAN, I think Ledge is by far the most polarizing position where you see the biggest differences between players.
Yeah, there's just so many things, like so much hesitancy to ledge dash, because if you just get the lag at the wrong time, you just die for nothing. So you see a lot of the oft complained about thing is Falco side B from the ledge, but it's such a good option. Oh god.
Again, they're Deft going for the jab, which did cover the high side B that time, but not quite getting edge guard.
Like we may be seeing Deft move on to the women's finals.
Crazy reverse. Deft with these uppies. That was a great dare. Really huge.
Uppy. Oh my. Yeah.
I think that'll be it. Again, though, Newt still living at like over 200. It ended up not panning out for him, but
his great DI can only help him survive a little bit longer, and that's gonna do it. Yeah, some good stuff from Newt, but Deft just.
yeah, cheers to both.